Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. I'm in the Maryland, Annapolis area, and this is where my son did a lot of his school. And there's a lot of friends that he has here. They want to do a little get together, in honor of his passing, little, memory type event. And it's right here on the water. Very, very nice area. So we're doing that, and it's conversation around here is very interesting because it got me motivated to do this show. This is Trump area. There's signs for Trump Vance all the way in this neighborhood, and this is Maryland, and of course the Naval Academy, where when I was a senior enlisted guy, I was there for a couple of years. It's pretty much the same. Very conservative. They love America. They don't like illegal aliens, and a lot of them didn't like to do that thing that goes in the arm. So, new factual truth study by MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. All right, very highly regarded, information that always comes out of there. They came out with this is dated April 30th. I think this has been around for a little bit. I think I've discussed this on other channels. But they're saying that COVID vaccines cause all-cause deaths to skyrocket. In collaboration with the Florida Department of Health, scientists from the world-renowned Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, have just confirmed that COVID mRNA vaccines triggered a global surge in all-cause mortality rates. Now, we know the royal family was just pretty much wiped out, and I'm going to talk about that. And there seems to be some similarities with, this vaccination and a lot of deaths that are occurring around the world. So MIT is basically pointing this out. So the researchers found that Pfizer's mRNA vaccine in particular caused dramatic increases in deaths from all causes, including COVID-19, non-COVID, and cardiovascular. The findings were just revealed in an explosive new study of 1.4 million people. So this is not just some fly-by-night, a few people here and there. This is a very significant study, triggering widespread concerns among doctors, scientists, and health officials everywhere. So as someone that loves humanity, and wants to keep humanity informed, you can make your own decisions, of course. Anyone could have made their decisions to a great extent of whether they got the COVID-19 vaccination or not. But now we're finding out there's some problems. We need to let the world know so that maybe more people can, do things in their, health and so forth that would definitely make a difference. You guys know that I promote the Life Wave, and that's been found to be very, very effective in helping people. The study has ignited renewed concerns over the comparative safety of COVID mRNA vaccines. So this conversation is starting to build in this area. You know that in the early days, you couldn't really have this conversation. I don't even know if I can have this conversation now, guys. I'm just really pushing the envelope here. We'll see. How this goes. I hope we have turned the corner and that we can have a conversation about this and start to talk about, some of the problems here. The world needs to know, and the world needs to look at this. Doctors need to look at this, and we need to move forward and start to really do a careful study, like it evidently was done at MIT. The findings add a significant amount of weight to a growing body of observational research probing potential non-specific effects of vaccines. The investigation was a retrospective matched cohort study involving 1,470,100 non-institutionalized adult Florida residents. The participants had completed a 2-dose series of mRNA vaccines, either from Pfizer or Moderna, between December 2020 and August 2021. The researchers matched vaccine recipients one-to-one across 7 criteria, including age, sex, race, ethnicity, vaccination site, calendar month of vaccination, and census tract. The primary endpoint was all-cause mortality within 12 months of receiving the second vaccine dose. Secondary endpoints included cardiovascular, COVID-19, and non-COVID mortality. So all-cause mortality was significantly higher in Pfizer recipients, 847.2 versus 619 deaths per 100,000 persons. Cardiovascular mortality was also elevated. COVID-19 mortality was higher for Pfizer. Non-COVID-19 mortality showed a similar pattern. These differences were most pronounced among individuals aged 60 and older. Importantly, there was no significant difference in the negative control outcomes, suicide or homicide deaths. This suggests that unobserved confounding was unlikely to fully explain the mortality differences. So there's graphs to this. You can see there's absolutely a very, very significant, upswelling after vaccinations. These findings echo and extend prior research at the U.S. Veterans Affairs System. So this is not something new. Many organizations are having these studies right now, and they're raising new questions about the deadly impact of mRNA platforms. The data underscores the importance of assessing vaccine safety using broad clinical endpoints, including all-cause mortality, not just infection-related outcomes. So we're kind of like moving down, this road to look at this a little bit more carefully and find out, exactly what's going on. That's actually a river behind me. So it is quite substantial. So a river, it's a river that runs, I don't know which, it's a river that I think it runs into the Severn River. So drains. So lovely area. I've always liked this area of Annapolis and so forth. Okay, so let's jump in to potentially what may have happened to people that were vaccinated. I'm going to use the royal family because obviously they are, and a lot of people look at the royal family. Kate Middleton and Prince William, they got their vaccinations. I think it was like May 29th, or at least this is when it's being exposed, May 29th, 2021. I think that's when Kate Middleton got hers. And Kate Middleton and Prince William both urged people to get vaccinated, right? So it was seen at the time to be one of the things that was going to prevent people from getting sick from COVID-19 and save their lives. Prince William received his first vaccine dose, I think, a month before that. I'm seeing an article, maybe it's about the same time frame. I don't know. I don't follow them as much, or have never followed them that much, but it is interesting that both of them were vaccinated. And then Kate Middleton realized in March 2024 that she is revealed to the world that she's undergoing preventative chemotherapy for cancer. Remember, they all cause mortality for the vaccination, right? So this is one of the things that seems to be spiking, not just in the royal family. From the story, it's in remission for Kate Middleton. King Charles also has what he describes today in the Mirror, the English channel or paper or something. Frightening battle and dark moments with his cancer. All right, so King Charles and Camelia, whatever his wife's name is, they both got vaccinated shortly after the king and queen were vaccinated. Now, they were vaccinated, I believe it was January or December of 2021. Now, we know that it was just, and of course, they all the royal family wanted people to, get vaccinated. And so they promoted the vaccination. So Prince William died within 3 months of being vaccinated. He died on April 9th at 99 years old. You can flip those numbers around and that comes up 666. But regardless, did he die on that day or did he die another day? And then they release that. Kind of like I think they do that quite often. So that's a very interesting day. The numerology and so forth for that passing. All right, so he died. Let's see, what did he die of? What did he die of? What was Prince Philip's cause of death? Old age. That's what they said. So it just said old age. All right, so there's a lot of people that live a lot longer than Prince Philip. And usually they don't die of just old age. They die of complications from, maybe a heart attack or, they've had an injury, a bone broken, it doesn't heal right, and then it causes problems. So, but, that's what they want to stay. Often they have no cause of death reported, as I've talked about on other channels, but he passed away within 3 months. Now, how long was it that Queen Elizabeth, before she passed on? Or was it a day they decided? So September 8th, 2022. So not much longer did she supposedly stay, right? So September is a 9-month. I was born in September. It's a 9-month. I know, right? She died at age 96. So again, you flip those numbers around, nines, and they come out 666. So they both died on 666 days, pretty much. How about that? So the Pope, did he die actually on Easter, or was it planned out? Did he have a double? I mean, we've looked at all these things. Did the Queen have a double? Is Prince Charles a double? We've seen different people. Now, are they just body doubles to keep them safe? Because we know that the presidents and the royals do that. They have somebody stand in for them. Body doubles. This has been used for hundreds, especially in England. They've had body doubles in England for a very, very long time. England, that's where they had, that's where they had all the plays. Shakespeare, right? Shakespeare. So the Athenian goddess was Athena. She had a spear. She was the goddess of war. Of course, the Greeks had their own temple to her on, what was that? Parthenon. So, and then, of course, they have a Parthenon lookalike in Nashville. I've been there. It's very, very impressive. There's snakes all over it. She has a snake around her waist. She has a snake around her arms. So we know we've had Dr. Artis on my show, and he has revealed that there is snake venom in that 19 thingy, right? That goes in your arm. All right. So lot of interesting things, over time that we can tie much of this information to. So, I mean, look at that. All pretty much the royal family is getting wiped out, right? From that vaccination, right? Or is it something else? Is it just a coincidence that they all seem to be dying after they got vaccinated? Old age, both the prince and his wife, the Queen Elizabeth, they were old. They were old, so they died of old age. So okay, but there's a lot of Libra. I'm a Libra. Yep. And so why do they seem to die in these strange dates? It's just magical the way they die on these strange 666 dates, right? Wow. So everyone loves Libra. That's right. Because we're whatever, right? Attractive. All right. That's what they say about Libras. I never thought of myself attractive, but We're very, very close. NVIDIA CEO warns that China. Oh, where did that stuff come from? What did your boy Michael say way before everybody else? Came from Wuhan. I said that way back early January because your boy's a remote viewer, and he saw it. He saw the military. He saw the American military involvement. All right. So there was military games that were happening in October of 2019. World economic or world military games there in China near Wuhan, and American military was there. So I saw some things, right? I talked about them, and I talked about them very early. I knew it was going to hit in December, and I was waiting for certain things to legitimize to people that were listening. So I can't just come out and say, I see this, and everybody's like, whatever. But if you got something to basically base it on, it helps. So I saw some things, and within early January of 2020, I started blowing the whistle, right? Of course, Trump says it's the Wuhan flu, but that Wuhan flu is a problem. So same thing in China. They're saying that there is another all-cause mortality happening in China, where a lot of young people are dying on a very significant level. All right, so China, we're very close to beating. They are very close to beating the U.S. in chips and AI, right? So the NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang warned Wednesday at the Hill and Valley Forum in Washington, D.C., where I'm close to, that the U.S. and China are in a fierce long-term AI supremacy race. So what happens with this AI? This AI obviously can be used for good and evil, just like those. Well, I don't think vaccines are so good, right? You ask, our new Secretary of Health. He's like, RFK Jr., he's like, no. Lots of problems with that. So they're doing investigation work. They're revealing stuff. Of course, they're going to, just like the chemtrails, are going to deny and say anyone that believes that is full of it. But it's time to have those conversations. Those conversations are being had. They're being revealed. And do we beat China in the AI race? I believe that we do. China is really hurting, and President Trump has said this as well. So we're seeing the tariffs are having their toll on China. So it's the key. Chips giant breaks ground on third U.S. plant. So I've talked about this in other shows and probably other platforms like Rumble, where I talk about how a buddy of mine was telling me how there is some very mysterious chip manufacturing plant from Taiwan. Now, we know that if there was a conflict with China, that it would be very hard for us to get the chips that we need. So we need chips and everything, and military equipment, jets and computers and cell phones. It has to be, we have to have chips. So we're getting chips from a chip manufacturing company that's based out of Taiwan that is building its third multi-billion-dollar plant in the U.S. And I think all three of them are in Arizona. All right, the new fab backed by $6.6 billion in CHIPS Act grants. So President Trump is giving them, probably he's not charging them any tax, or I don't know, but he's making it sexy for them to come over here and build these chip plants, and they're going to make a lot of money, and they're going to give us chips, which we're going to need potentially if there's any kind of conflict going forward. And we don't want to be, getting all our stuff from everybody all over the world. We've done that. We've sold out all our manufacturing for decades upon decades. All of our car companies were sold out. U.S. manufacturing. Steel was underbid by companies around the world, Japan and China and so forth. Canada, I think maybe even Mexico. So everybody was making steel a lot cheaper because one of the highest cost of any company is the employees. So that's why you're going to see, I think, with the stock market, when people start getting cut from their jobs, that's always never good long term for the economy. But these companies are going to make their profit is going to be able to be maintained, and then people are going to continue to invest in stocks. All right, like today, we saw the stock market was down massively, and then it completely turned around and went green. Right now, I think there is NVIDIA. I think it reported good results, and I think Microsoft reported good results, and their stock is exploding and after hours trading. So GDP, though, gross domestic product, is at a 2022 lows. That came out today, and the stock market didn't like that. It sold off, and I guess everybody came in and bought that sell-off, bid the low, and drove it back up. So I mean, are we seeing a dead cat bounce, or we're going to see what could be eventually even higher highs in the stock market? It could go either way. It depends if there's no other problems that come up. President Trump said, I think at the stock market low, it's time to buy. And, a lot of people still don't believe that, but we'll see. We'll see. Was Trump right to, tell everybody to invest at that point? I was very skeptical, but look, the stock market's up. It was a big, massive pullback today, and it ended up in the green. It's like, what? So they came in and bought that dip, and that's the way it used to be in the past. So did it go down? And it was so oversold that it's basically going to keep going higher. Ridiculously overbought, or oversold rather. We're definitely not overbought yet, so it could race higher. And a lot of people have, well, not a lot, but a small fraction of people have said, and I've said this in the past too, that we're probably going to see a massive spike at some point. This is what happens before a stock market meltdown, a massive one like 1929, 2000, 2008. You have basically everything else is not working, so everybody comes in, they invest into the stock market, gold and silver, because everybody knows that it's not good. It's like, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. So they come in and buy the silver and the gold. It's been going up. Silver and gold have been going up, obviously, quite substantially. At some point, the pressure they put on silver to keep it down comes off at some point, and it explodes higher. This is the way it's been throughout every stock market pullback. Even stock market blow-offs, you'll see silver and gold go higher. And that's what we saw. We in 2008, 2009, we saw housing crashing, stock market reaching new highs. Same thing. So we're seeing housing crashing again, and we're seeing potentially, I'm not saying it's absolutely going to do that, we're seeing potentially that the stock market may reverse and go higher and higher and higher to ridiculous levels before it actually finishes going higher, because there's nothing else. There's no more money can go in it, and they'll just crash it. So if we see the Federal Reserve, I believe, which will happen, cut interest rates, that can work both ways. It can work to take the wind out of the stock market, or it can inflate it. So I say it's probably going to inflate it. I think we're probably going to see some more new highs from what I'm seeing, the way the stock market is acting right now. For it to go down the way it did today, it's pretty much a tell that this thing's and bounce back like that. That it doesn't mean that it's not going to crash tomorrow, but I don't know. I don't think so, but we'll see. So adjust your money accordingly. So Phoenix, this Taiwan chipmaker pledged to do $100 billion build out of plants. So I think they put 12.6 I'm not sure how much the other one was. 12.6, 6.6. I don't know. Maybe they've got 20 something thousand. So that's a lot more. They still have upwards of close to 80 billion to go, and it's going to be very, very interesting. How that's going to work in other industries as well, as manufacturing actually comes back to America, and America builds out its manufacturing base and it starts to ship like it used to do after World War II. It was economic superpower after World War II because all the industries all over the world were decimated by the wars. America had never really been attacked other than the West Coast and Hawaii, of course. But they didn't get into the mainland. So the factories are still crisp. The women had kept them going while the men went off to war. The men came back, went to work. Everybody bought houses, and there was a big boom, and it worked out really great. So it's very interesting to see all the things turn around and move in the right direction. But at some point there still will be probably a collapse. So get your silver, right? Dr. Kirk Elliott, it's in the description box. You should be invested in silver. Should be building it out. So your brother lives in Arizona. He is a computer engineer. He said, as we drove by their buildings being built last year, no locals bringing in their personnel from Taiwan. So that's it. It could have changed. I think it did change because Trump is saying there's thousands of jobs that are being added. But he's saying that doesn't mean it's happened. I don't know. I don't think he would lie, but because if somebody found that out, but you're calling it out is important. So if that is the case, maybe they're bringing in their top people to build, help the turnover, changeover process. That's usually the way it works. So hopefully that is the way it's working. So, but thanks for that insight. All right. So we know that we're going into a grand solar minimum. Well, I do, right? But there are these wacky scientists that are telling us that we have global heating, and it's going to melt like, inconvenient truth. Al Gore said, many, many years ago, we weren't supposed to have any ice caps, but they're still there and actually growing, Al Gore. And even in the WEEF, I think it was last year, he went and still was saying, we're in a crisis. It's like, Al, that lie doesn't work anymore. It's not an inconvenient truth, an inconvenient lie. All right, we're on to you and your WEEF buddies. So big sunspot actually appears. So when we have decreased sunspot activity, grand solar minimum, when we do have sunspots, they're very bam. They pump some energy out there, frequencies and so forth. The Schumann resonance gets basically whacked, and then we have earthquakes, and Hawaii gets volcanoes, and eventually the West Coast gets volcanoes, I think. So we're gonna continue to see this pattern, and you can look back through time. Every time there's been a grand solar minimum, yeah, it gets cold, but there's lots of earthquakes, and there's lots of volcanoes, and the volcanoes make everything worse because they're with all that ash in the air, it's stopping the sun from coming in, so it gets really cold. And there's a lot more snow than Al Gore said there ever would be. And who knows? Maybe he was just repeating lies that he didn't know. Probably the case. But those of us that have a scientific mind, like I was going to be a marine biologist or a Navy SEAL, so I chose Navy SEAL. It's more exciting, of course. And I hate it. I sucked at math. I have my mind is very creative, and math is like, I couldn't do it. All right. I could do it enough to pass, but it was too soul sucking. So I stopped. I could write. I was really good at English, creativity, right? And that's usually the way it works for a lot of us creative types. We're not so good at math, but you need math to do the science stuff. But I didn't need math to do the science stuff. I knew physics better than most of them. In fact, I was always chosen to be in physics and all that kind of stuff, because basically you have to like use your imagination and your creativity to see these worlds that don't exist in the 3D. All right, so we're getting these waves of energy that are coming off the sun. We got a big sunspot that's facing us. Usually when something like that happens, we get pumped with energy. We get big earthquakes. And in fact, when there were just a few fluxes, interestingly, when those fluxes happen from the sun, we had earthquakes in New Zealand almost simultaneously. And of course, we had, they're blaming sunspot activity or whatever on the basically the grid system in Spain and Portugal, and I think in some parts of France. Lie. That was taken out on purpose. You guys know that. Don't lie. Don't use that shit. But it is possible that you could have a massive EMP, massive flare that comes off. Coronal mass ejection could really knock the system out. We've been getting a lot of coronal mass ejections. That's what you get during a grand solar minimum. And they've been upping the earthquake activity and so forth. So we'll probably see that increase. It's not probably, it's real science, where this stuff will actually start to increase, guys. We're going to see colder temperatures like I predicted this last winter. And not so, of course, last summer was not the hottest summer ever. They lied. They lie. They always lie. Maybe in your neck of the woods, it got really hot. I don't know. But globally, there was actually, I think, a half a degree lower. So they lied. Not the hottest ever. Hottest ever if you go to the middle of a concrete and asphalt jungle of a city, and you do it near where they do the AC units. You put your probe there. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's how they lie, and they make this thing work. So they got busted doing that, and you get busted in one place, it's probably happening somewhere else, right? So anyway, these spikes happened. There were 4 big earthquakes in New Zealand, and equidistance from 2 of the outer ones. Basically, it's going to bring it in probably into northern New Zealand for a pretty good smackdown, right? And that's usually where a lot of them have been in the past, in northern New Zealand, Christchurch area, somewhere around in there. So it's not uncommon for New Zealand to get big earthquakes. So that basically this activity came off the sun, and usually it takes a while to travel to Earth, or at least that's what they think. But those of us that are intuitive and can communicate instantly across vast stretches of space instantly, we know that energy can be transferred, certain frequencies can be transferred instantaneously. So that seems to be what happened with this last solar flux that came off sunspot activity. So that's very interesting. I guess scientists haven't figured it out yet. Some have. Some talk about it, like, guys at Remote View like me, and say, Wuhan flu coming. All right. And some laughed and pointed fingers and say, oh. But, laugh if you want. We'll see who wins, right? Those that are helping each other out and working together. So like you guys in this chat, like you guys that are subscribed to this channel. Remember how this channel used to have 250,000? Yeah, those were the days. But those are the days where we're exposing stuff, and we're able to expose it, and then it got shut down very quickly. So it'll be interesting to see how this video flies. I got to put it out there. This is the way I always was. All right. I try to work around stuff like my buddy David Nino Rodriguez, but Mike, got to tell the truth. Got to tell the truth. So we'll see. Now, so other people that tell the truth like this, I can't imagine why there would be a problem with telling the truth, but it seems to be. I can question that, which I did. That's how I got this channel back. I was like, I don't think I did it properly, and they're like, you're right, you didn't. And you're like, well, why didn't you say something sooner? Well, I did say something every time I lost channels. This one, very interestingly, I was like, I'm not even going to try, because every time I try, they're like, no, you screwed up. So like, so then it just kind of, like I said, a few weeks ago, it just popped up again. I'd seen it pop up other times. I was like, I'm not worth it. But I said, maybe now that Big Daddy Trump's back, maybe things have changed, because I was feeling it, and other people have been talking about it. So I was like, let me see if it works. Let me see if the truth stir can get back in there. And sure enough, here I am. But yeah, let go of the political party stage actors. I agree. Let them go. Bye-bye. Right? Let those Shakespearean play actors go bye-bye. Shake that spear. Shake, because Athena would shake the spear for knowledge. It's like she pointed out, you better tell the truth. Here I am. I'm shaking the spear for truth and knowledge. All right. So we'll see. We'll see if it works. I think that we'll see some amazing things going forward. So it is frustrating to see a lot of the stuff that happens. I know you guys are like me. You want to see the truth come out. Now, some of the truth basically is that Zelensky is not about having peace. He's all about, because he's a puppet boy for the elite. He wants to have these wars, and if he doesn't have wars, then thank you very much. If he doesn't have these wars, then it's going to be very difficult for him. All right. And for Ukraine, the people that are in elite positions of power, they get millions of dollars, and they have, Lamborghinis, and they have trunks full of, in their Mercedes, trunks full of money, running through the Polish border to put it in banks in Poland. Where's all the money coming from? It's not coming from Ukraine. Ukraine is not making that money. They're basically a war machine for the elite. They want Ukraine. They want to destroy Russia, and they've been doing that for a long time. So Russia is playing them. Now, a lot of people say that Putin is playing Trump. I don't see that at all. I think Marco Rubio and Trump are trying to get Zelensky. So they're going to keep saying it's all Putin. It's Putin. He doesn't want peace. That's dumb. All right. But they're going to keep saying it because they lie. They lie about climate. They lie about vaxes. They lie about so many things, because they make money, and they have to continue to make money. So as long as they have the ability to have people they can manipulate and lie for them, then they're going to do that. And that's what we're seeing with Zelensky. Gay, dancer with leather and high heels with a gay group of men, right? Dancing, making people laugh in Ukraine, comedian, and then he becomes the leader of Ukraine. I mean, that's kind of cool. That's cool. Anyone on any walk of life can make it as the president of Ukraine. But if you try and do business with Russia, like one of the presidents did a decade or so ago, you get taken out and somebody else gets put in. All right. They have a color revolution. And John McCain shows up and says he's with the color revolution. John McCain's gone, though. Wrinkly flag on his coffin. What does that mean? Bye-bye. You're a traitor. Goodbye. So that's pretty much what we've seen with a lot of people that have gone over to deal with Zelensky. They're traitor boys, right? Traitor people. And I don't know. Maybe at some point they have wrinkly flags too. Who knows? I would recommend it if I was in charge, but I'm not. So all I can do is just like report out here. Now, one thing that we are going to do, I've done shows with Jim Scott, and we've also have James Files, who is the shooter behind the fence. He at one point was part of a secret assassin group, military, former military, that were basically put in a military-like unit that were assassins that George H.W. Bush basically recruited for this assassin team for the CIA. So he has said to me and Jim Scott that he likes coming on my show because I reveal. I let him talk. I let him reveal. He's going to come on, and we're going to build a case for President Trump to not pardon, but give him immunity so that he can reveal. Because, we all sign these non-disclosure agreements, and they can come at you any which way they want, often, right? So, usually they try to kill you, like they tried to kill him, tried to kill me. But somehow we're protected, right? He has, taken in Christ, and of course, me and Christ are like buds, and he keeps me up to speed. Archangel Michael keeps me up to speed. They do some protection activities for me. I'm very happy about that because I like to reveal and make baddies go bye-bye. Right? So that's where we're at for a lot of this. He wants to come on and do that show specifically for President Trump, and then we have someone that's going to get that in front of him. So that's coming hopefully within the next day or two. And I'm going to have Leo Zagami. He's going to come in and talk about the Pope because he's an Italian dude, and he was actually part of the Illuminati. He went in and was like, I want to know what these guys know, and he went in and found out, and then he was like, and then they're like, we're going to kill you. And it's like, yeah, he ran too. So it's amazing. It's amazing how God protects people that reveal. So that's why I keep revealing. Otherwise, I'm a dead man. Right. So that's what we do. That's where we're going to go. Hopefully, we'll have those shows for you, like I said, fairly soon, within a few days or whatever. And that's the way I like it. So very, very beautiful here. It's going to be a great place for my son, having passed over, and my son had addictions, unfortunately. And unfortunately, he became addicted here in this area of Maryland. Right now, in Baltimore, there was a gentleman that was the mayor of Baltimore that was Nancy Pelosi's father, and he's the one basically that got Baltimore to be and he was part of the drug trade, and he got heroin in here, and heroin. Baltimore, I don't know if it still is, but Baltimore was the heroin capital of America. Very, very sad to drive through Baltimore and see all the homeless people that are intoxicated with heroin on the streets. So I was talking to some people that own the property I'm at, and they were telling me about how a young man that was, I think he was a captain in the Navy, and he went to Naval Academy. He played football for the Naval Academy. His son, unfortunately, got cleaned up like mine, and he ended up, I guess maybe it was his last one. He just wanted that last one. So they found him in his underwear, nothing else on, and on a side street, an alleyway in Baltimore, right? So it is affliction. I remember when I grew up, there was no drugs, right? Drugs were just not heard of. There were no drugs at all. And that's become an affliction in America. I think we just need to clean that up. And of course, President Trump has talked about death penalties for, people that are trafficking drugs and so forth. we got to have something go on. We have to have some kind of incentive not to do drugs and help those that are on drugs. And otherwise, we're going to continue to have a lot of victims. So I know a lot of you guys have contacted me and talked about how you've had loved ones. It's just staggering how many have died from drug overdose. So it has become epidemic here in America, just like child trafficking and lots of other bad things. So we really need to clean up America. And President Trump has been doing that. And of course, the evil media attacks him constantly. And you have evil people in the Dems 13 party, Dems 13, that are attacking him, saying they're going to like do, a new impeachment. I guess this one gentleman that's an Indian of Indian descent, Indian descent. I think it's in Michigan, where he just was, and he got large clapping. To get military guys to show a little emotion is like really, really hard, right? They're very disciplined, and for them to clap like they did when he said they were talking about it going away. Even Whitmer was hanging out with him. I would be good with the Democrats becoming, middle. I don't care. Whitmer, stop being witchy and start being help serve the American people. All the Dems should do that. Serve the American people. I don't care what party you're in. I don't care if you've been a lifelong Dem. Like, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not an independent. I'm nothing. I look for the best candidates always, and it's hard to find them. But just maybe we just do away with the political parties altogether. And if you don't have merit, you don't stay, right? And if you come in, you have very bad right from the get-go, you get impeached for good cause, right? Because you're not performing and you're actually doing negative. So that's where the impeachment should come in. Now, President Trump is doing an exceptional job, but they want to color it as being evil, and that's not the case. It's not the case whatsoever. So there's a huge fight. The fight will continue. We'll do what we can to help our loved ones, to help our neighbors, to help our communities, to help our state, to help our country, to help the world. That's the way Americans are. We're very giving, and but sharing the information, sharing the truth should never ever be a problem. Should never ever be a problem. And I hope on this social media platform it continues to be, or it turns out to be, a place where we can all have conversation. As long as I'm not spreading disinformation, which has been spread quite a bit on a lot of these social media platforms, that should be okay, right? If I'm spreading the truth from articles, but you want to have your own truths, which the mainstream media does, that's not cool. Mainstream media often tells lies, and that's why a lot of them are paying Donald Trump a lot of money, right? Because they lied and they got caught in lies. And had 60 Minutes had that one woman on that who would want to be with that woman? I can't imagine. But she came out and said that Donald Trump had raped her, and so she somehow got away with that. And Donald Trump's supposed to pay lots of money, and so Donald Trump, I'll pay that money after I sue 60 Minutes after they lied. All right, I'll hand that off to you. 60 Minutes will pay for that. How about that? And so whatever. So and 60 Minutes probably got it from Ukraine or whatever. It just got filtered back to them so they could continue the lies. I don't know. But that's the way our world is right now. But that world is changing very quickly, very effectively. We'll see going forward. But we all have to push the envelope. We all have to get involved, and we all have to show up and give this video the thumbs up when you show up and share it, because that does make a difference going forward. Of course, we've got We're growing this channel again. This will probably blow it up if it doesn't get taken down. I'm not even gonna say that. It's like it is what it is. But we have to continue to share truths, and we have to spread information that can help other people. So we have a real epidemic, and that's unfortunately from people that decided to go with the COVID vaccination epidemic and all-cause deaths. So that is where we need to focus, and we need to understand that is definitely a problem. So MIT scientists saying that over 1.4 million people they studied, all-cause deaths are skyrocketing, not increasing by a little bit, skyrocketing, not one here or there, skyrocketing this far after, yes, because it's basically having a long-term effect. Now, if you went to, let's say, someplace and ate raw oysters and you got sick, and it created like a bug in your system that basically over 3 years it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Could you go back and hold that restaurant accountable? Probably not. And that's what they count on, right? So that's a poor example. I'm just saying it because I'm getting ready to go eat oysters tomorrow. So I love oysters. And the ones here in this area are really good, and they're cheap here. But if you go somewhere else and buy them, they're really expensive. All right. So I'm going to take advantage of that. So love the seafood here. Crabs. Blue crabs here. Absolutely incredible. Blue crabs, oysters. And the water's really clean here. They're very, very testy about having clean water here. So you have to be very careful. You can't cut down. Like if you have trees along the water, you can't cut them down. You got to get approval for it. It's like, and that's probably good. That's probably good. So anyway, died suddenly or increasing by massive numbers. Yeah. Are no cause of death reported. They just died. It's old age, but they're only 20. Yeah. But even 20-year-olds, they get old very quickly sometimes. Right. So I don't know. We're going to have to figure this out, guys. And I hope this is part of the process. I've been trying to do this for 5 years now. So hopefully it starts to work now. Okay. Lots of love. I will see you guys next time. And you know the deal. Stay in the love vibration, because that's how we win.